way, because I realize how short really an hour is, given the scope of our topics, you know. But I assure you, we're proceeding at a good rate. We will finish our course assignments for this semester. And I hope by doing the exercise, yung exercise natin tuwing linggo, starting tomorrow, papadala nyo na screenshot nyo at midnight. So you have enough time to comply. By complying with that assignment, you will be able to remember what are the provisions of the law and relate it to our lecture here in class, so that you will be able to apply it when you are already practicing as CPAs or as business people, or when you take the board exams. Kasi tatanungin ito talaga, paborito to kahit sa bar exams, paborito to. Kasi nalataan nyo, yung terminology ng civil code, ang daming pwedeng pag-ikot-ikutan ng magagaling, matitinik na abogado Ano? Yung pinag-usapan natin kanina. So we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen, simulated contract. The best example, the example which I'm sure will become familiar to you, if it's not familiar to you already, of a simulated contract is the duplicate deed of absolute sale of real property. Ganito ang kwento dyan, ladies and gentlemen. Ang bawat pagbenta ng lupa sa Pilipinas is covered by the property registration decree, and it is registered with the Land Registration Authority. Why do we do that? Because we want to protect property owners, di ba? Mahirap yung sasabihin mo na meron kang pag-aaring lupa dahil meron kang titulo galing kay Talyano. Ngayon ko naman sinamang gonggong ang maniniwala dyan sa Talyano na yan, di ba? So, our system of registration of properties is designed to protect buyers of property as well as owners of property. So that pag bibili ka ng lupa, alam mo titulado yan, walang manggugulo sa iyo. Walang squatter, walang ibang nagki-claim sa lupa, hindi pwedeng mas maliit, hindi pwedeng mas malaki, hindi pwedeng nasa gitna pala ng dagat. Di ba? Yan ang rason kung bakit meron tayong property registration. The other effect of buying property is you have to pay tax. Ano? Diyan kumikita ang gobyerno. Whenever property is sold and resold, donated, or left to the heirs through the loss of succession, whether intestate, di ba sinabi ko sa inyo na intestate, walang will, or testate, dahil merong will, merong last will and testament, may share ang gobyerno dyan. So anong ginagawa ng mga gustong bumili ng lupa? Ayaw nila magbayad ng tax. Gusto nila magbayad ng palit na tax. So gagawa sila ng dalawang deed of sale. Yung isang deed of sale, yun talaga kung magkano yung lupa. Diba? Halimbawa, kay Miss Aralar, gusto ko magbenta ng subdivision lot. Diba? Gusto kong bumili ng subdivision lot niya. Meron siyang subdivision lot maganda, gusto kong bilhin. So ako, sabi ko, Mary Joyce, ayaw ko magbayad ng malaking buwis. Ano bang usapan natin dito sa lupa? Sabihin ni Miss Aralar, kanyan na, attorney, 2 million, sa'yo na yan. Ikaw magbayad ng tax, ha? Ako ba magbabayad ng tax? Miss Mary Joyce? Edi, gawa tayo ng dalawang deed of sale. Yung isang deed of sale, 2 million ang ilalagay natin. Doon sa isang deed of sale, ilalagay natin 1 million para mas mababa naman yung tax na babayaran ko. Diba? The second contract is a simulated contract because it was not intended to be a contract. Certainly, Mary Joyce will not accept 1 million from me. And certainly, I'm not paying 1 million for the property because it's really worth 2 million. So that is the most common example of a simulated contract that I can think of right now. And it's very practical because you will encounter it. Ako, as a member of the bar, I have always resisted either selling my properties through a simulated contract of sale, a double deed of sale, or allowing my clients to do it. Kasi sabi ko sa kanila, kung gusto nyo gawin dyan, huwag nyo sabihin sa akin. Hindi naman ako notaryo. I do the deed of sale, if you copy that and then you put a smaller amount, bahala kayo dyan. Anyway, my signature is nowhere there. Wala. Basta I advise you against it because it is defrauding the government of its proper taxes. Galit ako sa gobyerno kasi winawaldas nila ang pera natin. Ngunit karapatan nila magkaroon ng pera. Hindi ko pinaggigiit na ang gobyerno ay may karapatan, whether ang gobyerno ay Duterte, Marcos, Pinoy, kahit si Jesucristo pa yan o si Manalo pa yan, I don't care. They are entitled to get money from us because that is the lifeblood of the state. If they waste it, I will shoot all of them. Yun lang ang usapan natin dyan. Okay. Balik tayo sa contract foundation. Kasi magandang topic yan eh. Yung Facebook, libre yan eh, di ba? Facebook, libre. Diyan tayo nag-chit-chat, diyan tayo pumupuna. Meron na ngayon sila yung Reels. Napaka-buisit ng Reels na yan. Kasi maiksing Reel. Hindi mo alam kung kababalaghan o kalokohan o katarantaduhan lang eh. I think that is like TikTok, di ba? Ganyan yata ang TikTok. Sometimes you see the scantily clad women and, as a full-blooded male, you expect to see something sexier, but it's just that. It's just some woman who's gyrating or doing something. Or else, it's some sort of stunt that defies imagination or is purely stupid. People doing things on motorcycles that will kill them. Okay. Anyway, that is Facebook. People admit it. Diba, Aliyah, Jovi, we all enjoy Facebook. Ako, the only reason I'm in Facebook is first, it's the only way I can contact my classmates from Merino Elementary School, where I graduated from. Because my high school friends, I can contact them many other ways. Some of my friends still live in the Philippines, so it's easy to see them. When I go to Baguio, I see my friends. And the second reason I'm in Facebook is because I really need it for news. I follow a lot of news organizations and groups, mga defense groups. I'm interested in military matters, so I follow a lot of military experts. And I can only find them in Facebook. I cannot find them in my other apps. Like si Max Defense, he works out of Australia. These guys in Ukraine, I don't do Twitter, so I do not know where to follow them, except in Facebook. So I follow them because I want to be updated on what's happening in Ukraine, for example. Ewan ko anong rason yun, I'm just telling you. Libre yan. Is joining Facebook, even if free, a contract? Anong palagay mo? Jano Martinez. Sorry. Are you with us? Oy, Jovi, you have a nice cat. Kasama ba siya sa recitation? Ewan ko paano ko siya i-grade. Meron din kaming stray cat. I named it Isolda. I named it Isolda because there's a Tristan. You know the Shakespearean story, Tristan and Isolda. I feed Isolda, but I don't like Tristan. I don't feed Tristan. Bago ko makalimutan, Miss Martinez, are you with us? Umalis ka na. Rescue Miss Martinez. Oh, no, wala. Charlene. May kakayan.
Hello po, sir.
Ano yung Facebook? May kontrata ba yan?
Wala po, sir. Wait lang. Feeling ko meron, sir. Kasi bago ka po, pagka nagawa ka po ng Facebook, parang may mga terms and conditions po.
Yung terms of reference, di ba? You have to agree to the terms of reference of Facebook. Di ba? Kaya alam niyo yung term na, Charlene, alam mo yung term na Facebook jail? Nakita mo na ba yan? I follow a lot of, I'm sorry, pinklawan ako. So I follow a lot of these guys. And pag binabatikos nila si Duterte o si Marcos, kuminsan masyadong malakas ang kanilang loob, masyadong puno ang kanilang loob, kung ano natatawag nilang tao ng bobo, stupido, that will land you in Facebook jail. Alam mo yan, Charlene?
Hindi po ako familiar, sir. Ngayon ko lang din po narinig.
Yun. Pag hindi ka sumunod sa terms and conditions ng Facebook, pero puputulin yung service mo. Yun ang tawag doon, Facebook jail. Ano? Halimbawa, nag-offer ka ng something for sale in Facebook at bawal. Halimbawa, ang bawal sa Facebook, baril at saka hayop. You cannot sell pets in Facebook. If you sell a pet or gun, and I have my mom's hospital bed. This is the bed she slept on when she died. So obviously we don't need it anymore. I've been trying to sell it sa Facebook. I was refused service by Facebook kasi bawal sa kanilang terms and conditions yon. Yun yung sinasabi ni Charlene. You have to follow the terms and conditions. You cannot sell hospital equipment. You cannot sell medical equipment kasi marami nga naman nanloloko sa medical equipment. Diba? Snake oil salesmen. So those are the terms and conditions. Hindi nyo nahalata to because you clicked it right away. But when you applied sa Facebook, I applied in Facebook, I think. 2009, it was my wife who forced me to go on Facebook so that I could talk to my classmates now. So 2009, I don't know when I was a Facebook member. Nandun yun, may dialog box eh. By clicking on this box, you agree to the terms and conditions of Facebook as stated in the attachment. Ayun, ang haba-haba, fine print. It was written by several lawyers. Nandun lahat yung rason nila kung bakit pwede nilang putulin yung paggamit mo sa Facebook o ilagay ka sa Facebook, isuspend ka for 7 days for calling somebody stupid. I call a lot of people stupid because they're probably stupid. But apparently in Facebook, you cannot do that. Diba? So they will suspend you for 7 days. After that, 15 days yata. After that, 30 days. After that, 6 months. So marami ako mga kaibigan na blogger at vlogger na na-suspend din na. In fact, Attorney Willie Garrido, one of my favorite the people I follow, has gotten out of Facebook na kasi lagi raw siyang nasa Facebook jail. Ang nangyayari kasi, yung mga trolls ni D at saka ni M, pagbatikusin mo yung kanilang kliyente, isusumbong ka sa Facebook, magko-complain silang lahat, libo-libo sila, fake accounts lahat. Ang Facebook, wala namang pakialam sa fake account. Tatanggalin ka, sasabihin, so many people complained about you, Attorney Balanag. You are in Facebook jail for 30 days. Ganyan. It's a contract. It's a contract of adhesion. Twitter, TikTok, all of these apps, when you click that little box, you agree to the terms and conditions, the terms of reference of your joining that particular community. And so you're held liable if you violate the terms and conditions stated there. You know? So the terms have to do with their policies. Policies lang nila, like Facebook, ayaw ng medical equipment. So I cannot sell my mom's very expensive hospital bed. Alam niyo, hospital bed na maraming gano'n, crank. You can make the person jump up and down and whatever. I cannot sell it on Facebook. I have to think of another way to sell it. Although if I go to Facebook Marketplace, ang dami ko nakikita nagbebenta ng hospital bed. They don't put hospital bed. Kaya nakakalusot sa Facebook. Kasi nakalagay lang naman, do not sell hospital bed. Don't mention hospital bed. So a lot of people also sell guns in Facebook. They don't say gun. Ang ilalagay nila, G*N. Para makalusot. Sa terms and conditions, in the contract of adhesion between Facebook and you. So the contract of adhesion has been prepared well ahead of time by a battalion of lawyers, the best lawyers that Facebook, Meta could hire. And then you just have to agree or not disagree. Kung ayaw mo, alis ka ng Facebook. Tak sa iba. Di ba? Ganun lang kasimple yun. The contract of adhesion is a take it or leave it contract. And you will see a lot of this when you're already practicing. Or even right now, when you look at your Meralco bill, and your water bill, in your subdivision, yung membership nyo sa Homeowners Association, kung meron kayo. Okay. Thank you, Charlene. Uh, well, I think I've covered. Okay, one more thing. 1327, pakitingnan. 1327, if I may remind myself, the following cannot give consent to a contract. Unemancipated minors. What does unemancipated minors mean? I think we talked about this before when we talk about obligations and what are void and voidable obligations. It's the same thing with contract law. Unemancipated minors are minors who are not married. It used to be that you could be a minor but be emancipated because you already had a child. So you could get married because the age for getting married was still open to minors. Uh, Now it's really above the age of, it's above the age of minority. So wag na natin pag-usapan yung number one. Minors in general, ano? Minors cannot give except through their guardians, usually the parents, di ba? Number two, insane or demented persons. Naku, kawawa si Duterte. Hindi siya pwede mag-con, ha? Okay. Deaf mutes who do not know how to write. Ito ang nakakatawa kasi sa insanity. I'm sorry to, it's not nakakatawa, but this is the thing about insanity, ladies and gentlemen. There is what's called a lucid interval. Yan yung pinag-uusapan sa 1328. Please take a look at it. Contracts entered into during a lucid interval are valid. This is the crazy thing. You see, when they wrote the civil laws back, I told you, our civil code came from Code Napoleon, which is the basis of the Spanish Civil Code. Code Napoleon was enacted by Emperor Napoleon I. But he got it, much of it, his researchers, they got it from the Roman law under the Code of Justinian and through practice, through the common law. Diba? Through practice, through all of the conquered countries of the French Empire at that time. So this is a very old law. Hindi pa nila naintindihan ang insanity. Ngayon, kaya naghahalata nila na yung kahit yung baliw, there is a time when they have what's called a lucid interval. I hope you never have to experience this, but I took care of my mom when she was suffering from dementia until the last moment that she passed away. And there are really times, si mama kasi hindi na nakakaalala noon. She was not insane, but she had dementia. She was demented. In other words, she could not remember things. She could not relate to what was occurring in real life. But there were moments when she would remember everything. You know, yung mga experiences namin nung bata kami. Alalang, she could remember every detail. And we would talk for about an hour about something that happened when we were still growing up in the gold mine, or something that happened when she was still teaching when she was young in Cebu, or during the war, World War II. That's called a lucid interval. And during that period, ang sabi ng batas, a person can enter into a valid contract. The problem is kasi, ladies and gentlemen, how do you prove that it was a lucid interval? Yun ang problema. And that is a question which has vexed law and psychologists and psychiatrists. So just remember this, because not every contract involving an insane or demented person is void because of lack of consent. Because the demented person or the insane person may have a lucid interval, and it does happen. I can tell you that from personal experience, but it's very hard to determine or to prove it in court. Tila yung 1328 tungkol sa drunkenness at saka hypnotic spell. Hypnotic spell. Okay. So, Please take a look again at our, okay, I think we covered I think we covered it. I encourage you to read De Leon. I only looked at De Leon 30 minutes before this class. So I just poring over it. It's very well written. De Leon's really improved since I was a student. Uh, it will help you to fill in the things that I did not discuss because if I discussed everything, nandito tayo ng buong araw. Okay? So please take note of the assignment in the lecture plan. Yung lecture plan ang ating susundin mula ngayon at yung mga deadline doon. Halimbawa, Sunday, magsasubmit kayo ng inyong notes, screenshot, please do that. I will just, ang aking inahabol lang dito ay compliance. Ano? All I will look at is if you have written down in your own hand the provisions of the law, because I tell you, the mere act of mechanically writing down these provisions of law, the mere act will help you remember these things at the proper time. During the board exams or when you're already practicing. So I am really doing you a favor. Now, if you look at our lesson plan, our lecture plan, there is also some things that have to be memorized. I am requiring you to memorize it because first, they're easy to remember, and second, they're very important. They will crop up, if not in the board exams, when you're practicing. Take my word for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will not consume the hour. I will finish my coffee and let you finish your notes. I hope you're doing your notes. I am doing you a favor by forcing you to make notes. And then I'll see you on Saturday. Please note our Sunday activity. And there's an additional reading. So please pakibasa. So let's have our picture. Stop presenting.